Hello, and welcome to the Say It Out Loud podcast. I am your host, Christine Daynard, and the goal of this podcast is to encourage you to live your best and most authentic life by digging deeper and finding connection through vulnerability. I believe we have been taught that vulnerability is a weakness, when in fact, it is our superpower. In this space, I will share personal stories and conversations with others so you can be empowered by their strength and inspired to take action in your own life. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's get started. Hello, and welcome to the Say It Out Loud podcast with your host, me, Christine. I am so excited to be here, and I'm going to share this little miniature episode with you because you're probably one of the people that got a link for this episode. So you're either a friend of mine or you're a friend of a friend, or someone shared this through social and you're listening along because someone sent it to you and said, hey, you got to listen to this. And I'm glad that they did. So thank you for being here. But I wanted to give you just like a quick little snapshot, a little bit about who I am and why I'm doing this and why I think a podcast is a platform that is ideal for what I want to share. And I'm going to share a little story with you. I have wanted to do a podcast for a really long time. And for one reason or another, it just hasn't come together. It's never come to fruition before now. And here I sit recording this miniature episode, and I thought, what story am I going to tell? And it dawned on me that when I was a little girl, one of my first memories of childhood is I was probably about 6 or 7, maybe a little younger. And I loved to make microphones. Now listen, it was nothing fancy. It was like a full-on DIY project. I would take empty toilet paper rolls, or I would empty the toilet paper roll and stuff the end and turn it into a bit of a ball. And then I would wrap aluminum foil around the top, and then I would tape the whole thing together so it stayed together, and it made a microphone that I could use in my play to act things out. So I was an actress, and then I was a singer, and then I was an entertainer of some kind, and I was a speaker, and I did all these things, but I loved the microphone. I can't even tell you how many times I made those toilet paper microphones. And, you know, as I thought about that story, I've got this big stupid grin on my face as I remember that, because if I think about it now, I think, oh my goodness, my first memory of being a young child was of using a microphone to use my voice in some way to entertain. And here I am at 47, finally getting around to this podcast I've wanted to do for a few years, and really finally getting around to what I feel like my heart has been telling me all along. You know, it's funny, I think, that when we're kids, we get to play and have fun and just live life and live it up and learn as we go. And then I'm not sure what age it is, but eventually we hit a point where we're told that we have to grow up. And we shouldn't be so immature. And there's no more time for play. It's time to get serious. And I would really love to go back in time and shift that, but clearly I can't do that. So I'm hoping that I can help shift the future by telling these stories, because I believe that we are so connected to our, childlike selves, and that if we actually listened to what our childlike self was telling us and we were able to continue to play, we would be probably finding our purpose a whole lot sooner in life. If you take a minute to think about, what did you do as a youngster when you were left alone and you were playing all by yourself? What did you do? What did you create? What did you dream about? I will bet you that whatever you dreamt about then is becoming a part of your future, or it's something you still dream about today. And if you're not, and you've forgotten about it because you left it on the shelf, maybe this message will have you pull it off the shelf again. I believe that there is so much to be told in a story. And I believe that when we use our voices to say things out loud, we normalize things for people. We say the things that a lot of people are thinking and are too afraid to say. And I just happened to be comfortable with the microphone. Maybe it was all that practice when I was 5 or 6. But I want to share stories, and not just mine, but of others who are living their dreams, who are living a fulfilling and joyful life, and who have tapped into that part of them, who they were when they were kids. And they're coming back to that and playing with that concept or idea as an adult. Stick around and see what more is going to be happening here, because there's lots to say and we need each other. So let's connect while we say it out loud. Thanks again, and I will see you the next time. Thank you for listening to this episode. I'd like to invite you to hit the subscribe button on this podcast so you'll be notified when the next one drops. And if you like this episode, please leave a review, as it will help others to find this message. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at It's Me, Christine D, or if you'd like to connect about being a guest on the show or talk to me about speaking engagements, please visit itsmechristined.ca. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.